What's up, friends? If you're tired of the emotional tax of being disorganized, let's talk about gear organization. A little while ago, I did a video on garage and car organizers. Kitworks wasn't able to be a part of that then, but they sent out some gear and we gotta talk about it. The long and the short of it is this stuff is kind of like an organizer's buy once, cry once kind of wet dream. Details like these, can you see this gated G-hook here? I've used a bunch of G-hooks over my life and this kind of spring-loaded one. They're using that on the backpack straps on the gearbox as well. Simple detail. Surprisingly nice neoprene style foamy with EVA foam stuff here. Look at the dividers on the main gearbox. These are so rigid. Super durable, super tough and rigid, like a honeycomb type thing inside of there. Simple hook and loop for applying everywhere, but the rigidity of these and this whole frickin' thing. Laser cut MOLLE attachments all the way around the outside, RF welded stuff. Look at this molded, padded bottom that's all welded around here. Excellent details. Look at those MOLLE attachments here on the top of the duffel with bar tacking, super rigid frickin'. This tote, surprisingly useful. Wipes completely clean. Hose it all the way out when you're done with it. It can be, I use this as my grocery thing right now. Also, check out this lid with the Velcro compatible thing. You can add a bunch of stuff on top. That's kind of nice, right? I'm gonna walk you through all the bells and whistles on these things. Okay, but first, this episode is brought to you by my favorite pens and notebook. This is all from Studio Neat. Studio Neat make my favorite pen. This is the Mark 1, okay? It's like an $80 pen. They're gonna fight over it when you're dead. It has an all-metal click mechanism. It's gonna outlast you. It uses my favorite pen refill. It's a little bit thicker than a normal pen. Now it comes with a clip if you want it. They also have one without the clip, which I gotta say I'm kind of partial to, but it does roll around the desk. What I love about this is super juicy as it writes and the perfect thickness in my hand, and it's built to last forever. This is their Pano book. I'm literally using this to plan out my next men's retreat. Look in the link in the description, matterful.co/men. It's happening. We're doing retreats now. This is designed to fit between you and your laptop. Pages lie completely flat. Excellent paper. Then they have their Keep book and their Tote book mini, which I love. This is what I write in all the time. I keep one in my pocket. Okay, and then this is my main journal. Why, if you're an organization guy, would you care about the stuff that you're writing with? If you're an organization guy, you already know the answer to that question. Check out the link in the description for Studio Neat stuff. Please use my link. It lets them know where you're coming from. And shout out to Studio Neat for supporting this channel. This gearbox is totally overbuilt. Totally overbuilt in the best possible way for weather and dirt and dust resistance, but to last so freaking long in your life. Once you get this thing set up, it's extremely strong. You can literally stand on it. It can take up to 250 pounds, apparently. I mean, I can't quite fit here, but let's just see. I mean, just to give you a sense of it, right? That's what you're gonna notice about this thing immediately. All right, this 900D fully recycled material. It's like a rubber Hypalon dinghy material. We've got this molded base. We've got this honeycomb style rigid support all around the outside. We've got a molded lid, which does make it quite nice to get in and out of. This thing, because it goes over, right? There's your weather seal. It's not submersible. I saw one reviewer online going well, if you put it, if you submerge it in water, water would get in. It's like, yeah, okay, that's not what this is built for. But I would love this as my camp kitchen. You've got your table, you've got your chair. Those things become extremely useful when you're out in actually car camping situation. You've got backpack straps that are accessories. One of the things that's gonna come up on this a lot, accessories are add-ons to this. That's why I say it's like the organizer's buy once, cry once sort of wet dream. Because these accessories that you Velcro onto here, these dividers inside of here, these pouches on the side, These kinds of add-ons that they have, which attach to the MOLLE all the way around. These are all add-ons, but they're not very expensive. The backpack straps, for example, is 20 bucks. And check out this kind of handle reinforcement stuff. All of it is super duty. I actually really dig these handles, really utilitarian, surprisingly sort of cozy and comfy, but they're always there right when you need them on the sides. I also like the way these backpack straps attach, again, with a small gated G-hook. And then they're adjustable on both sides. So what I tend to do is leave them pretty wide so it's easy to just flip and flop over. More accessories, by the way. They've got packing cubes that are TPU coated, a little bit of see-through, multi-segment inside of these. We'll get a look at some of these later, I guess, but like just to let you know, you can fully kit out your gear with this thing. And these Velcro bits right here are for these right on, or they actually have like, you know, EDC, camp, like all these pre-made Velcro labels, so that you're going through it, and you're like looking at what's what. Oh, there's my coffee stuff. Oh, there's my butt plugs. And this has a lifetime guarantee, okay? Manufacturer defect kind of thing. Check out their website for the lifetime guarantee. So the first point is just extremely super duty, really well built. Overbuilt in the ways that you just, like when you get this and you feel it, you will be like, yes, that's what I was hoping it was going to be like. Despite the heavy duty build, okay, it does remain modular. So I can take another one of these, my camp kitchen stove, maybe just perfect like that, or take two of these and go all the way across like this. I can add in these pouches or put in the two pouches over here and just make my segment. And then this is all for just throwing shit into. Or I can take this is called their everyday tote. They have a couple different kinds of totes. This is the everyday, it's lighter weight. Then they have their gear tote, which is heavier weight, and that one comes in two sizes. But this is designed to fit perfectly inside of your like sort of half here. They also have what they call these wet and dirty bags, okay, which maybe you put right inside of there, but these are designed for your shoes when you're mountain biking or you're hiking, or just like the things that you can put into here, like swim trunks, wet clothes, wet towels, dirty stuff, and then pull that right out. All of it is designed to work together. So like again, to that organizer's wet dream thing. You have external rails here. You have internal rails all along the inside. So get out your frickin' Studio Neat notebook and start making sketches. How am I gonna, where would I put my, just start fucking, go on the website, get the dimensions. Like, okay, so if I put that's where the butt plugs go. 75 liter capacity, okay, in this thing, which is massive. Tons of space for all your gear. This works super good as just a big bulky thing. Just throw shit into it. But how they designed this kit, this is like, I've talked to their founders, really, really focused on making something that you can organize exactly how you want, so that those things you're looking for, you always know where they are. They don't get tucked underneath things as the bag is moving around, as the truck is going off road. Everything's right where you need it, which of course, once you have that set up, then you got to make sure your partner and your kids are like, hey, that's not where the lighter goes. I do just want to call out again the sort of the intensity of this rigidity on these dividers. Okay, so this is the one that goes right across in any way. I think probably you'd want to get two divider sets so you have everything that you might need, unless you do the like actual sketch out exactly what you need, which holler in the comments if that's you, because that is respectable. Quick look at these packing cube things. They open up like this, so they'd work really well like sort of on the camp table. This is all open, and then you've got a segmented compartment inside of here, which you can see into from the other side. Mesh right here. There's not a vapor barrier between these two, but this whole thing super water resistant or dust resistant. It's the kind of organizer that's gonna, like, again, it's like what starts breaking down on these? I don't know. Maybe you get some scuffage on the handle. Maybe backpack straps, but those are replaceable. Maybe these little things, but everything else is heavy duty. And they have that available in 3 sizes, all right? 1, 2, and 3. This big one is the one that fits all the way to the top in here. These guys don't go all the way to the top. They're sort of down a little bit more, but you can stack them on top of each other like this. Then you're digging into stuff. So I just like, in my design of this thing, I would be doing everything designed into these big ones. Maybe I'd have pouches inside of here. Other accessories and what I've learned about them, okay? So this is probably my favorite one. Just something that you add against the sides here. You can put one on either side or both. And because it's got the meshy up front, you don't have to open up into anything. So you're shoving your hat or your gloves or your extra pair of socks or camp towels. Or I like things where I'm just shoving in here, access. Because comparing it to this one where you've got this Velcro opening, it has capacity, which is kind of ingenious. The way that you've got an elastic bit up top and then some capacity. It's just that extra step of this getting in. You also have the ability to add labels here, whereas in this one, I just can see visually. This is where your organization style is gonna show up and your organization experience. Some of you would prefer this because it's cleaner, but because I've been doing it my way for so long, this is what I prefer. What the beautiful thing is about organization is you get to do it. It's like Burger King, baby. Have it your way. Here's another one with just one big meshy on top and then another one with just one big pouch. You can see how we're attaching these things here. I don't know what this is. This is like a hidden air tag pocket, I guess. Probably what it's designed for. And then you've got all these MOLLE sort of strips and clips so you can attach it both from the top and the bottom so it doesn't flop around on you. By the way, one thing you could do on this is you can leave these G-hooks attached here, and then this becomes like a lid that you just flop over like that, right? That's kind of nice. Some guys prioritize frugality, like that's like it's a value. It's like I didn't overpay for shit, so I'm like, this, if you amortize this over the course of 10 or 15 years, which I think easily this lasts clean 10 years, depending. I mean, I don't know if you're throwing it off of the truck while you're moving, but if you amortize this over the cost of 10, 15, potentially 20 years, it's like getting Patagonia or Arc'teryx where there's a lifetime warranty. And it's like I had a rain jacket from them that for 10 years and it started delaminating on the inside. I took it right in, got a brand new one for free. You know, this is not going to delam. This is not going to break down like those inside water liners of jackets. But the point being, that's by far and away a cheaper jacket than going on Amazon every 3 years because it actually rips, tears, breaks, literally delams earlier, and then there's no lifetime warranty or something like that. I don't know. Lifetime guarantee is different than a lifetime warranty, right? So read the fine print on that. Now, they have this Adventure Duffel in a few different sizes. This is the 60 liter. It's got these dividers that use a simple sort of attachment on the sides so you can segment the gear if you want. These are floppy compared to these big, thick, rigid ones for the gearbox, and I know that there's a way, if you really wanted to go like hardcore shelf system with this, where you're taking some piece of Velcro around here through one of those guys and down, because this medium size, they have a small, a medium, and then a larger for their divider sets. This is just massive at 60 liters. Opens completely wide. Do have one little snap pocket on this side and nothing else over here. MOLLE attachments all the way around. You have some straps that you can put over your gear. You can move it to the top if you need to. You have these little clippers, which are designed for these snaps that are built onto the wet and dirty bag. So you plop that into there and you just clip it in if you want that sort of thing. Massive opening, super duty materials. Recycled 900D TPU laminated shell. You have this molded bottom as well. Welded seams all the way around. So it's 100% waterproof, like up to here. They designed it so that you could throw it into the boat. It's just like hanging in the boat. Water's coming in the boat. You don't have to worry about it. You've got a number 10 YKK water sealed zip right here, which is the beefy, beefy number 10. It's not waterproof, but it is water and weather resistant. You also have a pocket on the outside here The liner material is kind of like a Cordura. You can feel the laminate on the inside of it, the water resistant layer inside. And look at these frickin' handles all over. Straps and lash attachments everywhere. So this thing is designed to be able to like strap to the top of your truck. Fascinating. Which of course makes it a bit heavier, all that material. This is coming in at 5.7 pounds. I mean, that's lighter than a lot of roller bags out there. Then you've got these backpack straps, which are surprisingly useful. The thing about backpack straps, I didn't show you that on this, I'll do that in a second, is now you're hands-free. Now you grab one of the totes or two of the totes, or you grab your lady's hand or something. Now you're walking to the campsite or down to the river. This is an amazing way to get a bunch of stuff from the car to the lake, river, beach, whatever, especially considering the weather resistance and stuff. But like I said in the intro, this is better than it should have been. This is super nice padding material. They actually have a more foamy padding here for a little more comfort. So if there's anything sharp inside the bag, it's got padding in here. It's got padding all the way around and extra rigid stuff down here. But they went a little bit thicker here because they're thinking about that kind of usability. With this strap, they designed it so it's a little smaller down here, so you can grab it as your handle. Although if you're not using the backpack straps, like these side handles, I don't know if you ever carried a duffel like this, but it's the best because it's just right there. You lift it up, you're walking it, you drop it right down, you're still on the bag. So as far as adventure duffels go, this has got to be one of the best I've ever seen from a functionality, features, when you're considering the weatherproofness, like actual adventureness. A little bit more on the weight, but I think when you're talking about heavy duty materials like this, and then you add in the usability with this big wide open. So for example, you can find, I've seen waterproof duffels that have that one aqua sealed 100% waterproof zip, and then you're trying to open it up to get to your stuff. It's very lightweight, but sucks to use. Sucks to use. If you need something that you can throw in the water, it's one of the only options you can go with. This, on the other hand, designed for better usability. Also notice your little meshes that you've got up here. This makes it so nice to pack and get into. Throw your underwear, socks into these little things. You've got all of this MOLLE attachment for adding on more accessories. This thing's rad. This is like an excellent check-in bag. Then we've got the totes, okay? And I think this is the 55. All of this inner rail stuff, all of this outer rail stuff. Like, what are you putting on the outside there? Here's their medium hard divider, by the way. Not designed to work with this, but it's the kind of thing that I want in there, potentially, because it's so nice to just set up the bag and have it standing strong. And I just need to get a little Velcro thing to go around one of these guys. Not designed to go in there though. You do have two flaps, and you see on this one, I actually fold it away, so I've got a little compartment here because the Velcro on this is pretty intense. Makes this pocket way more weather resistant, but I tend to just put that like that, and then you have a zippered guy over here with a key clip. And when you put your hand into this, you could just feel the sort of the intensity of this material. It's like what they make boats out of, those dinghy boats. This thing I've used a lot. What I like about it is you can just wipe it clean. You can literally hose it off. You could take it out and just hose it off, hang it upside down to dry. You got that same molded foam bottom. Always stands up, always easy to just grab the handles and go. Throwing one of these or two of these against the side here gives me a little bit more structure, because I do notice that these tend to come in like this, but gives me maybe a little bit more structure. I wonder if you could even set something like this up in the middle, but I don't like that. I want to show you two more things on this guy. First of all, the backpack straps. I don't even have the lid clipped in. This is how I tend to use it. I don't really clip in the lid. Then you've got the ability to tighten this up down here if you want. But when it's simple, just getting stuff from the car to the camp spot, again with that hands-free, this can be full of gear, and this is like an easier way to carry it than off the body like that. And the other thing I want to show you is that this is collapsible. Throw the lid on top of it like this, and you could even use this to cinch it down and tight when you're done with it. Solid collapsibility. It's just a little bit of work to get it all set up again, and I personally am not buying this to collapse. I'm buying this to stay rigid as fuck. I'm designing this to be like my libido enhancer, hence the butt plug organization. I like that they have these two little red bits right here showing you exactly where the center of it is, because that's where I can put those so that this everyday tote fits right inside. And then honestly, just 2 compartments is pretty great for me because for me a lot of times it's kids stuff. You got the soccer ball and the football, you got the bike helmet, maybe some pads, you got some snacks, you got like whatever, and this is just in the back of the car chilling. If you need solid, organized, weather-resistant, really durable storage, if you want it to be completely customizable, if you like this size, because this is like basically the biggest, like bigger than this is hard to carry. This is quite easy to carry, even when it's packed with stuff. It'll get heavy, but like I said, the backpacks make it easier to get from place to place. But even like this is great. You're just kind of walking through wherever with this. This is the perfect size for that. If you need it weather resistant, dust resistant, durable like that, if you need it customizable, totally customizable to you. I mean, the system was designed by gear nerds, and you can feel it. You could do this all the same shit with your own customized plastic tote and spend, I don't know, 150, 200 bucks getting all sorts of, nicks and knacks to like fit in, like the way you want it to. If you're really going to try to organize this thing, you're okay with spending a little bit more for it to last longer, number 1, and for it to feel better, number 2. Like the feeling of this is just, all of it is just so like, fuck yeah, right on. It's stackable, it's collapsible, and then it's modular across a bunch of different use cases, right? You could have one of these things that you're decking out for your mountain bike stuff because you're going on a trip this weekend. Then then you pull that out and organize that in the garage. Then it's the fishing setup, right? You could be modular with this thing and work it across a bunch of different modes. So I know a lot of you are gonna look at the price and be like, dude, that's too fucking blah. That's why I'm like, it's an organizer's wet dream. Buy once, cry once, wet dream. Because the thing about organization, you get to have your shit together, right? You get to arrive prepared. You get to orient yourself before the activity for competence. There's a little bit of fetish around control here. There's a little bit of like an OC, like, oh, did I check the stove? I'll check the locks again? There's a little bit of a fetish around control here, but there's also a domain of ownership. And I love this about organization in my life personally. When I am aware of what is in my domain of ownership, and I'm just doing good in my ownership of those things, my life feels solid. I feel I'm in control. I just feel like things can go wrong and I'm less irritated. That's why I like to be organized, because things do go wrong. And ultimately I want to have that inner spaciousness, that capacity, that goodwill towards my kids, towards my partner, towards my family, towards my friends that I want to have that, but things will go wrong. So it's nice to know where the lighter is and the butt plugs. All right, that's it. Holler in the comments with any questions. If you're one of these, if you're one of these organized guys, let me know what in the comments. What are you using to organize? Like, what's your favorite? Like, what's your thing that you're organizing right now? I'm about to go organize my storage shed. I do feel so strongly that when I did a video, I'll put it in here, of closet, organizing your closet. When we take that time to like organize the thing that we walk by all the time, it does something to our subconscious. We're cleaning and moving things inside of ourselves as well as in our physical environment. Maybe that sounds lame to you. That's fine. Some of you wouldn't be the kind of person to buy this, but like, the way that it feels, that gearbox is like, Oh, it feels so good. And you just know you've got like a companion for a really long time in that thing. All right, that's it. I'm rambling. Be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Bye.